think it changes spots every week.
It could. They could be doing that just to mess with me. They really could. Okay, so tonight we are going to talk excuse busters. And I'm definitely going to be calling. I'm so glad you're here, Brandy, because I was hoping you would be, because she is going to be a really good one to help on this. And Katie, too, feel free to hop in on anything you feel like you want to add. But I have 4 excuses that are, I would say, the top 4 excuses we hear in our businesses. You hear them from yourself sometimes. You hear them from your downline. You hear them from people that you're asking to join. I mean, you just hear, all the excuses all the time. And quite frankly, sometimes it's really hard to like push through that when it comes to people's mindsets. I have to say, if you find yourself in this type of situation where you feel like you either need to help change someone's mindset or feel like maybe you need a mindset change for yourself. Brandy and I just read with Barbara the growth mindset book by God, I can't remember her name. I had it on the top of my head. Carol Dweck. And it is amazing. So a couple years ago at Reunion, Heidi Thompson, our Heidi, did a whole speech on it. And I swear to you guys, I bought the book right away after that. And that's got to be like 2-3 years ago now. And we finally just read it. I finally just read it. And I'm so mad at myself for not reading it sooner. It was a total game changer. Like, I wish I would have read it earlier because of like just interacting with my son, who's like a strong-willed child, just interacting with the people we do on a daily basis and helping to change your own mindset from fixed to a growth mindset. And it's basically almost like positive thinking over negative thinking, but it's in a way that really, I don't know, the way she puts it, she gives so many examples. So it's not just like one of those preachy books at you. It's not one of those ones that's going to be sitting there and like explaining like the chemicals in your brain to you on why you think this way. It quite honestly is like, she still shares stories about like Michael Jordan. She still shares stories. So many stories when it comes to businesses, when it comes to, parenting, that type of thing. There's a whole, it's a great book. It's a quick read. It's not really long, and it really is engaging. So I have to say before we even start this that I really recommend it if it's something that you think that you could gain a lot of value from. If you're not quite sure, go and write this down. You can look up Heidi's speech. I want to say, was it 2018 or 2019? No, it had to be, gosh, it probably was already 2017. Just look up Heidi's keynote speeches. I can put it in the comments here too. I can look it up after that. I should have done that research beforehand, but I didn't think to even mention watching it. But anyway, someone always records it and it's always fabulous. So I'm going to go through, I kind of was going through my head this week thinking of different excuses that I hear most often. And I narrowed it down to 4. Excuse number 1 is I don't have enough time. We all say this. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. There are only so many hours in the day. We get it. Excuse number 2, my customers just aren't buying anything. They're just not buying. Number 3 that I'm going to tackle is I have no money to work my business. We're going to talk that one. And the last one is I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So first, I want to hit that time one because that's the one that I named this training after. And that's the one we hear 90% of the time, I would say. Haha, time, did not mean to pun there. So the thing is when it comes to time, we use time in the way that we prioritize it. Okay. So if you work a full-time job, you can't get around that. That is a scheduled set of time that you are there. If you have children, if you have family members that you take care of, if you are in any type of home situation where people want your time, there's not a lot of way around it, but there is ways that you can manage it. You have to think about it as, what would you rather do instead? Okay. So if you're sitting here and you're watching Netflix and your kids have gone to bed, you're sitting there, you're doing these mindless activities, it's easy enough to go ahead and set yourself a timer. This is the number one thing that I would say helps me is setting timers. And it sounds stupid and it sounds like, I don't know, it just sounds crazy. But when you start doing it, it really can make a huge difference in your business. So I would recommend, and I was just having a conversation with one of my girls about this. So she didn't come to the meeting tonight because we already talked about this week. But I sat down with her and I'm like, okay, first off, we are going to set you a timer. What time of day, every single day, do you find yourself sitting on the couch? Do you find yourself starting to zone out? Do you find yourself like with a little extra time? And it doesn't have to be much, guys. You can set a timer for 15 minutes. You can set a timer for 20 minutes a day. If you set it for like 20 minutes 3 times a week. And if you miss that time, so let's say you set yourself, 20 minutes for tomorrow and something comes up and you absolutely cannot do your time, then make a deal with yourself. Be like, all right, I had to borrow this time for my Scentsy business this week. So I'm going to add this time to Saturday because I have some extra time on Saturday. Or I'm going to add this time to Sunday. Or I'm going to, spend that extra time doing Amy or doing my follow-ups while I have my coffee Sunday morning and I'm just kind of sitting there. You can't, I mean, as women, we know we can multitask. And dudes, any dudes watching the playback, we know if you're a Scentsy dude, you can absolutely multitask. So if you're sitting there, my husband loves to watch like the news shows on Sunday mornings. So that's when I set up time to, if I need to catch up on my Amy, I'm doing coffee. I'm paying attention, but it gives me too much anxiety to watch too much news. So I'm sitting there and I'm doing my Amy, or I'm setting up my newsletter for if there's a new thing coming out, like the Princess mini warmers or Spider-Man mini warmers that just came out. I send out a quick email to all my email customers, letting them know that this is happening. And it takes me, maybe half an hour to do, but I can sit there, have my coffee, not pay attention, and just get it done, And on Sunday mornings, your kids are usually playing. Your kids usually, I mean, at my kids at 14 and 10, they don't want to hang out with me anymore. They're like, Mom, don't make me play a game with you. And I'm like, come on, I want to spend some time. Yeah. But you just have to think about this. Like, think about what in your business do you need to get done? Okay. When you're setting your timers, I want you to have a task list. Okay. And this can sound scarier than it is, but there's a couple of things that go with making task lists. Okay. So you don't want to make it too long. All right. You can always add things. I want you to prioritize and put the top things, the need to do's at the top. So when you're setting that timer for 20 minutes, and you're like, okay, these are the things I absolutely have to do. Like, this party is starting on Friday. I want to get the group set up now. So all I have to do is send the invite to the hostess, or I can send it to her now and we can get that done. I have a party coming up this weekend, a basket party. I'm going to get this party set up now so that way I can save myself time later. Things that are approaching a deadline. And then you can start putting cakier stuff after that, because you'll find once you start prioritizing time, once you start making specific lists, and don't just write like follow-ups, like what kind of follow-ups? Are you doing your Amy follow-ups? Are you sending your thank you mail follow-ups? Are you, you be specific when you're making your list so So when you just look at that list and you say, okay, these are the things I have to do. Okay, so this is an example of my list. All right. So I just write them on stupid little postcards I have around the house, and I cross them off as I go. And then when I set my timer, So I set timers for cleaning too. I could work my Scentsy business all day long and be super, super happy. I don't want to clean ever. I don't. Okay. Cleaning is not my thing. So I write it on here like, you need to clean your office. Oh, okay. So I set my timers and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that'll take 20 minutes. And all right. But the nice part about that, guys, you set your timer, you do even half of one thing on your list. And then if you don't want to go any further, if that is your time for the day, you can put that list down and be like, ah, I did it. Even if you didn't finish, you don't have to finish the task because sometimes, and I'm sorry I'm stumbling over this, but I want to talk about, so I have really bad anxiety. And when I start to get overwhelmed with tasks to do, instead of resorting to my lists, I don't do anything. I shut down. I let things pile up. My office looks like a freaking bomb went off. Like you can barely walk through the floor because there's stuff everywhere. Okay. I have, a delivery that I was supposed to do 2 days ago, but I'm overwhelmed and I can't, like, my brain can't get around. Like, when my anxiety is crazy, I can't do the smallest tasks without like freaking out about all the other things I have to do. I can't compartmentalize my brain. So having these lists is really, really super helpful to stop that stress from happening. Okay. So what you do is you put on there, you prioritize your lists. You say, hey, this, that, and the other thing are the things I have to do. You start making your way through them. And after you're consistent, and we're going to talk more about consistency too with the next topic, but if you're consistent with this time that you set aside for yourself, you are going to find that you're going to get caught up. And then you're going to find, oh, hey, it's my 20 minutes, but there's nothing on my list. I guess I could, then you start thinking, hey, I can make samples because I know I'm going to run low. I can make samples now and I can have them ready. Put them in a Ziploc bag, put them away. So then the next time you don't have to worry about it. Or you could stuff thank you notes and have everything set to go except for, so like my thank you notes, I stuff a whole bunch in there. And then I have one card in there that I write their name on plus the envelope. I could have everything stuffed in that envelope, add that extra card, and have the thank you set ready to go for the next time that I want to start writing thank yous. Preloading your schedule once you run out of tasks that you can think of, right? There's so many different little things that you can do in this business that will start elevating you once you start prioritizing your time. Okay. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. And again, a couple other things that I asked a couple friends, give me some ideas on what you would think. So again, what would you rather be doing instead? And, is that more important than where you want your business to be? Prioritizing your business against the other things that you're spending your time on. Mindset, talked a lot about that. Maybe get up a little earlier or stay up a little bit later. Again, I'm a girl who loves her sleep. So both of those sound horrible to me, but do I want to promote? Do I need that extra time? If that's the case, then that's the sacrifice I'm going to make now as opposed to down the road. Case in point, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Jen Audette or heard her speak, but oh my God, when this woman started her business, I don't think she slept. She was running basket party after basket party after basket party. She was go, go, go. She was adding people to her team. She was nonstop Scentsy. Now she's one of our top superstar directors and she don't have to work that hard anymore. She has made it her full-time job. She was working a full-time job on top of what she was doing with Scentsy. She made sacrifices then so she can live the way she wants now. So that's just a little bee in your bonnet. If you ever want to hear Jen Audette's story, look her up. Her last name is Audettete, I believe. Right, Katie? Yeah, Katie's nodding her head. So I met her once. She's incredible. So if you want to say you don't have time, you go listen to Jen Audette speak. Holy balls, she will change your mindset on that. All right. Brandy, I'm going to defer to you for 1 second. Just going to let you share because I know, girl, you got a baby, you got 2 boys, you're moving, you've got stuff going on. So you can tell these girls how you prioritize your time. Because we've all been on here when Navy's been like, mama, I don't care that it's Tuesday night training.
Exactly. So honestly, I've kind of been MIA for the last 3 weeks just because I did have to get my house show ready and all that crazy, crazy stuff. But it's mainly putting time in and sitting back and going, nope, I am not going to let the excuses control my life. So when you say, oh, I don't have time for that, well, that's kind of a crock, I want to say, without saying it in a rude way, because if you want something bad enough, it doesn't matter where you are in your life, what situation you are in, how things are happening. Like, guys, I'm homeless right now. Come July 7th, like I literally have no home to move into, but I am making my business my priority and putting the time in every single day. Doesn't matter if it's 10 minutes, it doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes, whatever time you have, you need to put that into your business. I've got 3 kids. I run my Scentsy Business. I breed hairless Sphinx cats, so that's another business. I've got a crazy family that is very needy, a beautiful husband, but man, he's needy. So I'm telling you guys, like, it doesn't matter where you are in your life. It's the things that are important to you. So if you are somebody who's driven by financial gains, or if you're an incentive wanter, a trip earner, you just have to look and be like, okay, what is my why this month? And I tell my girls all the time, you can have all these dreams in your head of all these things that you think that you possibly want to do, but until you actually write them down on a piece of paper and actually set a goal to actually visually see these things of how to make out a game plan, that's kind of the way you've got to go. So I personally, anytime anyone says to me, I don't have the time to run a business, I'm like, hey girl, that's okay. If it's not for you, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I know that you have the time. You just have to make it. I tell my girls all the time, if you're scrolling on social media for more than 5 minutes, stop yourself. You are wasting your time and wasting money, really what it is, because you could be taking that, I just got an ear in my mouth. You could be taking that extra 5-10 minutes that you're scrolling on social media to be making it work for your business. So commenting on people's social media to be able to get your Facebook algorithms up, reaching out, doing your follow-ups, entering in orders, all that kind of stuff. And if you want it bad enough, you'll move the mountains to make it work. And guys, like Katie, she's on the top. Katie knows what it's like looking down on that big magical mountain and seeing all the slopes she had to climb up and all the challenges. And guys, I promise it's worth it. You just have to make sure that you're still going and don't let anything stand in your way, because there's going to be an obstacle in any avenue that you take in your life. If it's, getting your first job or finishing university or whatever it may be. But this is fun. This is a fun job, and it's very rewarding. And like, look at our family. We have family that we meet every week and, get together and have little powwows. I love them because they fill up your cup. So don't ever quit when you're in like a little valley, because you'll never see the power of being on the top of the mountain, because I'm sure Katie can comment how many struggles you kind of get through your business till you get to the actual top. So it's kind of my spiel on excuse busting when people say like, got no time, no such thing.
Exactly. I mean, because you want to think, okay, I have no time, but do you want the top? Do you want, I mean, yeah, it's going to suck for a while. Yeah, you might feel like you're working super hard and you're not getting anywhere, but I promise you, being consistent and putting it in and consistently trying, you guys, it's going to pay. It really, it does pay off, because I'll tell you right now,
I found a meme and I'm going to get my phone because I saved the picture. It was so good.
Another song too is, if any of you listen to country music, that Tim McGraw song, How Bad Do You Want It? That song always goes through my head, like when an incentive comes up and I think like, oh crap, that level 4, that sucks. That's going to be really hard to get it. But then I'm like, how bad do you want it? Come on now. How hard are you going to work for it?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Where was that?
I'll let you look for that there. Okay. So we kind of touched on that. The next excuse, number 2, again, was my customers just aren't buying / no one's joining my team. You know, it kind of goes hand in hand. We go through those, and believe me, you guys, you know, I've been doing this 9 years. I go through those, you know, I mean, this fall, everyone wanted to join my team, and I was like, sure, come on, everybody come join in. And now it's like, where is everybody? Nobody wants to join my team. I keep asking. I mean, there's an incentive out there that I have to earn, but come on now, where is everybody? So, I mean, it's again, you guys, it's being consistently asking. I mean, and we've talked about this before, 9 out of 10 times you're going to hear no. So going into it, 9 out of 10 times, you're asking 100 people and only getting 10 yeses. But those 10 are 10 more people on your team. There are 10 more people helping you get to your goals. There's 10 more friends that are helping you, and how you're helping them reach their goals. Because I tell you now, as a director, yeah, I'm really excited to promote at some point, but I get more excited seeing my girls do stuff. I am like, one of my girls is like 1,000 away from annual sales, and I've never had anybody under me do it. And I'm just like, well, oh my God, this is so exciting. Like, I am like ready to, like, I check her numbers every day. I am like ready for it. So you're going to get people on there too that are not going to do anything, and it's disappointing and it's frustrating because you know the opportunity's there. You know the possibility for this business, but you can't make them want it. Just like when we say, you know, how bad do you want it? How much time do you want to make? We can't make you, I can't come to your home and slap the phone out of your hand and say, girl, you are, you know, spending too much time on TikTok, get off. Or girl, you have binge watched 2 minutes. Okay, I am binge watching right now The Handmaid's Tale, but you best believe that I'm sitting there with my computer working and getting stuff done. I was just working on a website for all my girls for onboarding. So like when someone joins my team, it's a whole website of information for them when they join. I'll send you, Brandy, I'll let you look at it.
I went in on that.
You know, I can't come there and make you do it. The thing about this business is you are an independent Scentsy consultant. None of us can make you do it. None of us can make you consistent. Okay. So you have to get on your own butt about it, because there's only so much we can do. There's only so much we can encourage you. There's only so much tough love I can preach over you before it's up to you, girlfriend. Okay. Another thing that I come at when someone tells me your customers just aren't buying or there's no one joining, how are you presenting yourself or your products? If you are consistently showing off, you know, Scentsy's images are gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing better than you grabbing a tub of washer whiffs, pulling it out, and even doing like a 3-second video for your friends and be like, oh my God, you guys need to smell this. That's all you have to say. Oh my God, smell this, you guys. And they're gonna be like, what is it? What is it? Like this week, I had never used Palm Beach Breeze, and I was like raving about it. And I sold like 5. just because I went on and said, I can't believe how good this smells. Okay. People want to see.
Yeah, like we can show images constantly about different stuff. And, you know, Scentsy makes great images, but even friends want what other friends have. It's the law of attraction, and it's the referral system. So you just being like, oh, this is my favorite, they're going to be like, oh, what's your fave? I want to try. Like, I just did a bar special and I posted my top 10 bars. Me and Navy, a cute little picture. We were holding bars, and it was what our top 10 was. And there was 3 people that bought my and her top 10. She just wants to lick them, but it was still our top 10. But people want what you want because you're the professional. You know your product. You know what's great within the company. You know what smells good. And they're like, oh, well, if she loves it, I'm going to love it too.
And in this time of COVID, they can't smell it, guys. I mean, especially over, social media. I have customers all over the US and Canada. And when you tell them that you love something, they take your word for it. So lately, I don't know about y'all. I don't know about where the weather is by you, but it's been getting really warm here in Wisconsin finally. I mean, it's like Wisconsin weather. Like in the afternoon, it's like, 50s, and we're walking around in shorts because, or Wisconsin. But then in the morning, there's snow on the ground. And at night, it's freezing. So like we have all 4 seasons in one day. So I've been really pushing a lot of clean products. People are cleaning their house. They're getting that winter stank, and they're getting, they're doing their spring cleaning. So get out your clean products and honestly, show them your nastiness. They love it. They love it. And if you're not comfortable showing your nastiness, go to the Make Sense page and click on the clean album. And there are people who did it and they took a really good job, like really good pictures of it. And you can share them as your own. And people will be like, did you really clean that? And be like, yeah, that really was mine. And, they won't know unless they know your house. But I mean, showing how the clean products can, take care of your kid's nasty bathroom, how the clean products can take care of your, hubcaps on your car. There's a really good one of hubcaps on there, and I shared it, and I lied and said it was mine, but they don't know any better. But people were like, oh my God, that really works. I'm like, yeah, hello. And then when you tell them that it comes in their favorite scents, like I sell so many Johnny Appleseed up here. I don't know about you guys, it's huge here, and people love it in the clean products. So just tonight I posted something. I'm like, hey, I'm starting my spring cleaning, and I'm so excited for all my house to smell like Squeeze the Day. If anybody needs something, I'm placing an order tonight. And I'm getting messages like right now, like, oh, you're placing an order? Oh, I do need some cleaning products. I know it's spring cleaning time. So how are you presenting it? How are you presenting yourself and your products? Are you doing it in a really basic, boring way? Are you being super negative? We've talked about this before with social media. Try not to post too much negative stuff. Try not to, I use my Facebook purely for business attraction marketing, I have to say, guys. And I use it for, I need to go on there and take all the pictures off, and I use it for like when Time Hop comes up a year later and shows me cute pictures of my kids, and that's it. It's basically like a photo book for me and business attraction marketing. So use that tool. Are you being consistent with your follow-ups and your Amy? Okay. Because you guys, doing follow-ups, we've talked about this a million times. I just talked about this with Brandy's team. You are going to be so much more successful when you are consistent with your follow-ups. All right. Get Amy. I swear to you, you will not regret it. Or if you have a pen and paper system that you love and you want to stick to, then do it. Because quite honestly, that's where the fortune is. Anyone will tell you the minute you start actually revisiting follow-ups, and they're not going to buy the first time not many of them will buy the first time that they are contacted to follow up with. But by that 3rd time, that 5th time, it can take up to 12 times before someone will buy again. And if you're giving up on them before that time, you're missing out on that repeat business. So make sure that you're reaching out to them. Make sure that they're on your email list if you send out emails. Make sure that if you do like project broadcast or some type of text campaign, that you have everybody in there unless they opt out, and then respect them, give them their space. But being consistent is really going to make a huge difference when you feel like your customers aren't buying. And if they say, oh, I just feel like I have, too much Scentsy right now, or, oh, I want all the things, jump on that and ask if they want a party. You have too much Scentsy right now? Well, do you have a friend that you could refer to me that, I would have a party with me? I mean, you're such a great Scentsy addict, blah, blah, blah. Let them know it's Mother's Day coming up. There's so many opportunities to reach out to people. But if you're not, you are missing out. Okay. If you're just posting on a VIP page once a day or 3 times a week, you're really missing out on a wealth of opportunity that someone else will come and snatch up from you. Okay. And then my last little tidbit about this topic was, are you feeling negative about your business? Dig down deep into the core of how you're feeling about your business. If you're feeling people aren't buying, no one's joining, how are you feeling about your business? Do you feel like you're stuck? Do you feel like you're kind of in this rut and you need some one-on-one help? Talk to your sponsor, okay? Talk to someone that you can reach out to that you feel comfortable with to help change that mindset, okay? Because once you let yourself get into a negative place about your business, that's when shutting down starts. That's when you start giving up. And if that's truly what you want, God bless you, okay? This business is not for everyone. We get it, okay? But if that's not how you want to feel, we can help you out, okay? We can speak some life into you. We can do some tough love, all right? I mean, we come down and we say on you guys, hey, it's up to you. But if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling negative, it's up to you to let us know too, okay? You can tell us because we have all been there. All right, y'all, I have been a director for 5 years now. I have been in those moments where I'm like, I'm never going to promote. Why do I keep doing this? I feel like I'm, the guy who pushes the ball up the hill all day long and I never get anywhere. But then I start to think to myself, your journey doesn't look like other people's journeys. Okay. Don't sit here and think that you're not where you're supposed to be, because you are for a reason. Whether I have been slacking lately and I haven't been putting the time into my business that I should, and so I'm getting negative by myself by that, or whether I'm just about to burst into something more. You never know. Okay. But if you're feeling negative about your business, that is going to leach into your customer base. That is going to leach into the people that you are asking to join your team or are already on your team. Okay. And it can be a poison. We can help you weed it out. All right. Don't feel like you are stuck in a place that you can't get out of, because we can help you. All right. Brandy, anything you want to add to my customers just aren't buying, or people just aren't joining my team, or any of that?
I found that photo that I wanted to share with everybody. It's just kind of about like entrepreneurship in general, and it couldn't have been said a better way. It says entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so you can spend the rest of your life like most people won't. So
I've heard that before. It's amazing.
Yeah, it just goes to show it is a big journey. Living a couple years of your life, struggling to get your business off, hey, that's okay. We all have been down that road, but once it actually clicks, it's like, holy heaven to Betsy, it's going and the wheels are spinning and you're like, this is exactly where I needed to be. And like Molly said before, everything, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. And everything is supposed to happen the way it's supposed to. I have also been a director for 5 years. I've been with Scentsy almost 6 years come July. And I've been a director for 5 years. So I totally get Molly's aspect of how she's feeling, a little frustrated. but knowing that every day you're helping other people be able to see the growth within this business is something miraculous, because Scentsy is magical. It brings a lot of great things to your life. But yeah, like if hearing people say people aren't buying, it is a lot of attract marketing. You know, Facebook stories and Instagram stories, that's free marketing. Like, use it to your ability and be posting on there. Like, people follow your life just to see what's going on. Or, you know, my slogan on my Facebook, like, as soon as somebody logs onto my Facebook profile, it's come stick your nose in my business, because people are constantly wondering what I'm doing, how are things going. And it's not just because it's me, like, people would be like that with you guys also. You just have to make sure that you are being consistent and making those posts. Like, today I made my first TikTok video. Like, my kids always steal my TikTok account, and I don't even know what the heck is on it because they just post their own stuff. But I made my own first TikTok video today. And you know, it's just getting outside of your comfort zone. I'm the queen of Facebook stories and Instagram stories, but to actually get on TikTok, I was like, hey, why not? I'm going to do every day one TikTok video a day during COVID lockdown 3.0 to see, you know, what I can attract. Because you never know, I might get one video that becomes viral by one person watching it, and it just expands my business. You have no idea. So just being consistent. I always tell my girls too that sometimes it takes people 3 months to order their next order. So they may have purchased with someone previously before they even knew that you were selling Scentsy, and then you're their next go-to girl for their next order, but they don't need it for 3 months. And obviously no is never a no forever. It's just a no for, like, not right now. And we just have to think of that and make sure that when we are doing our posts on Facebook, like Molly said, try to keep your Facebook clean. Don't have any drama, because I've watched people lose their businesses because of posting negative stuff that, you know, is not attractive. And it's not just Scentsy, it's other companies too. And people just don't want to see it. They want to see the bright and bubbly, obviously, and they want the real you. So never, ever, ever be fake. But sometimes the Facebook world doesn't need to hear everything that's going on in your dirty laundry life. We all have issues.
Oh yeah. And there's enough issues in the world that I don't need to add my issues to anybody else. I'll just, you know, put my dirty laundry back where it's supposed to be, and it'll sit there for way too long, you know, because laundry. All right. So excuse number 3 that I hear, and these last 2 excuses aren't going to be long ones. Especially the third one. So I have no money to work my business. Girlfriend, you need to go. You need to watch my videos that I do about business budgeting, first of all. And second of all, you only need your kit. I trust, okay? You bring your kit to your parties. You have your kit out for people to smell. If you have a vendor show, if someone asks you, hey, do you want to come do a vendor show? Don't say no. You can go take your kit and take orders. Yeah, you might not have cash and carry stuff, but that's almost like a better thing, because you're getting those people's contact information when maybe they wouldn't have given it to you before. And you're getting their addresses for dropping off Scentsy or having it delivered to them. You can make your own drawing slips to have at those things, and, you know, put down a prize, say, hey, you could win, you know, this, and print out a picture of it. And then once you get orders, once you make money at that vendor event, you can buy that thing. And then whoever wins it, you have their contact information to drop it off or ship it to them. I'm assuming, you know, because it's a vendor event, everyone's going to be pretty darn close to you. But you don't need to have a lot to work this business. I don't like keeping a lot of stock. I am a minimalist. I don't like a lot of clutter. It drives me insane. Like if it starts to get clutter, I start to get like, so having a ton of Scentsy, like I have so many warmers, like warmers of the month and warmers, and I want them out of my house. I don't like it. So it's like, and I don't even have that much. I don't have what these girls do who do these big, uh, what are they called, like flower and garden shows or whatever, where they're like the massive vendor events where they rent out like expo centers and they have like their own little Scentsy stores. That is not me. That is not something that I would do. Brandy, you do those? That is not something I would do. It's too much. Okay, so season change, what would you say business tools are must have from the store? Must have, I would say catalogs, order forms, a new set of transition testers. You don't have to get the big testers if you don't need them. Don't do it. And I would say if you're going to do one more thing, do the training guide, because there are so many little helpful hints in there. Do I have mine here? Yes, I do. Okay. Oh, well, this one's for fall. Sorry. But these are these little training guides. And you go in here and, well, those aren't around anymore. Okay. So it shows the fragrance flowers, right? These are huge. People love the fragrance flowers. So it gives you little tips at the bottom here that you can remember, or if you want to do a post. So let's say you're going to do a post about fragrance flowers and you want to tell, your customers a little more. Each flower is handcrafted, so no two are alike. Did you know that? The flower absorbs and holds fragrance for up to 60 days. Simple, elegant design complements any decor and there's no outlet required. Perfect for nightstands, desks, vanities, other small places. The list goes on, okay? So there's so many different things you can tip. I mean, right here, it says sales tips about all of the different things that you can do with on-the-go products. So I would say that this is a super useful tool. And if you don't have money for it right away, you can certainly put it on your list. You can add it to an order later on. If catalogs are a little too expensive, what I like to do too is I like to order a set of catalogs, or this is what I used to do when I couldn't afford it as much. I would order a set of catalogs and I would only use them in my basket parties, or because every once in a blue moon I did home parties. I am not a home party girl. I do great at them, but they give me anxiety. So I built my business on basket parties. But what I would do when someone would ask me for catalogs, you can get the product slips. All right. These are mailable. These you can easily put in an envelope and ship for one stamp. These are great to give to people. And I take these to vendor shows as well when I do them. And I say, if you want a real physical copy of a catalog, I still do this to this day. Get me your contact information and I will mail you one, because I want to have your contact information if I am spending that much money on a catalog to give to you. Okay. Think money wise. So these, y'all, are fabulous for that. Everything's on here. Yeah, they're not super close up pictures, but it gives them a taste. And if they're really adamant about it, I mean, can figure something out. But most people will be cool with this. Or you can slap your website on here and say, oh, there's great pictures on the website. There's people who post pictures of like what they look like live on the bottom of some of the pictures if you go through and scan through them. But I mean, you really want to make sure that you're not breaking the bank on your business if you're just starting out. Okay. And I've had this conversation before. So if you guys want to go to that video, I've got videos on my YouTube page, which is attached to all of the replays from these. So once this is posted as a replay, you can go to my YouTube page and find it. One last thing I wanted to add to this is there's super cheap ways to make business cards and samples. You can print them out yourself if you have a good printer or if you have a printer. Vistaprint usually has insane deals. If they don't have a deal right now, wait a couple days. Honestly, they have deals all the time. Samples, you guys, my samples are stupid simple. I go to Walmart. I do this with everyone, summer, winter, doesn't matter. I use felt. I buy these. I think they are 20 cents for a thing of felt. I have I'm a crafter, so I have like, fabric scissors. The regular scissors will do the job. They just take a little longer. But I cut these bad boys up. I dip them in wax. I have a Wilton chocolate melter. I dip them in wax. I put them in a baggie, and then I either will print out a just a little card that has the description of the scent on it and my contact information, or I put them on business cards and attach it. That's it. I mean, go stupid simple. And I swear to God, the people at Walmart probably think I'm dealing drugs because I buy them out of these little, these are actually too big a size, but again, my desk is a mess. But I buy these little baggies from Walmart. They're $1 for 100 bags. You can get them in the section where they sell like all the like beading, like bracelet beading and necklace beadings, like in the craft section. They sell them. I swear they think I'm buying dime bags to make, illicit drugs. But I buy them out when I'm there because I go there and then they don't have the kind I need. But I mean, you can't get much cheaper than that. Because honestly, the scent is what sells everything. So if you're going to spend a little money, get a bar, make a whole bunch of samples off of that and get them under people's noses. Throw them in your thank yous, hand them out to the waitress when she, comes and, brings you your bill. There's so many different ways to use a sample and to do it in a really cheap way as opposed to spending money on things that aren't going to make as much. And because those felt things are really small and they soak up the wax, there's not a lot of wax there. So that way, when you buy the molds, I feel like it wastes a lot of wax. That's another reason why I use the felt, because I feel like the molds use up a lot and I want that to stretch as far as I can. So that's another reason for that. Okay, we're going to get to the last one because I know we're getting close to the end of our time. Excuse number 4, I don't know what I'm doing. None of us do. None of us know what we're doing. The number one thing I can say about this, if you feel like you should do it and you want to do it scared. I mean, I find that I get more jazzed and excited about something I did scared, that even if it didn't turn out great, just the fact that I tried. Like, I can remember back when I've been doing this almost 9 years, and I can remember back when I would first start, I would still call people on the phone, and I hated calling people on the phone. And the first no I got, I hung up and I was so happy. And Mike's like, what? Did they want something? And I'm like, no, they said no. And he's like, what? And I'm like, and I didn't die. I didn't die. They said no and it was okay. And he's like, okay. I'm like, I'm so happy. They said no and I was okay with it. I mean, doing things scared is okay. And it's actually kind of an adrenaline rush if you're an adrenaline junkie. So it's kind of fun. But none of us really know. I mean, we know what we're doing. We've done things different times, but we always are trying something different. And that's part of what is exciting about this business, because there's no one certain way to do things. There's different ways to spin it. I mean, obviously staying within compliance rules. That's my little, stay within compliance, please. But if you don't know and you want to know, you are responsible for asking for help. Okay. Finding trainings, searching the workstation, asking your sponsor, asking your upline, going out and finding, I mean, it doesn't have to be trainings on the workstation. You can find trainings on YouTube all over the place. Find girls that speak to you and see if they have a YouTube page. There's plenty of ones I follow. I love following Allison Dalkey. She's not doing a lot of new content right now because she's done so much content over the last 5 years that she is like, all my content is out there right now. Go to my YouTube page. She's nice. I mean, if there are people that you see in this Scentsy business and you're like, I want my business to look like that. I want what they have. How do I get it? Go ask them. I mean, if you don't feel comfortable asking, go to their YouTube page. Most of them have them. Go find them on Instagram. Most of them have them. I mean, if you want to know, if you're scared or you don't know how to recruit, or you don't know how you want to word things or whatever the case may be, you know what they are in your head. There is so much content out there. There is so much out there for you guys on the workstation, even on our team page. I mean, there's constantly people asking questions. And if it's a question you want answered too, it's not hard to type following in the comments. I do that on the director page all the time. People are like, oh, how do you guys do this? And I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm going to follow that. Oh, okay, that looks really, really good. How did you do that? You know, when you see people posting stuff on our team page and saying, look what I did today, and you want to do it too, ask them, how did you do that? How does that work? How can I flip that? How is that happening? But unless you ask someone, unless you go searching for answers, don't stay stuck in that, I don't know what I'm doing, because we all started there. We all did. I mean, and I was always super scared to try new things. And I for too long let myself just be anxious. And, oh, I don't know if I can do that. That doesn't sound like me. That doesn't sound like something I can do. Oh, she can do that, but look at her. She's amazing. Oh, look at she can do that, but look at her. You know, she's got this going on, and her life is perfect. And you're like, oh, honey. Now you're like, no, honey, nobody's perfect. We just have tried so much crap and it failed, and tried some other stuff and it did great. So we don't know what we're doing either. There's still times where my girls will come to me and ask me a question, be like, well, that's a good question. And then I message Brandy, or I message Mandy, Marie, and Jesse, or I message, Katie, or, Wendy, or whoever it may be, and be like, I'm going to ask about that because that's a good question and I want it answered. And I never thought of that. So there's plenty out there where if you don't feel like what you're doing, just come join the club. Come join the club sometimes, because there'll be times people will say this and I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, that's been a rule for a while, Mo. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, I didn't know that. All right, cool. All right. Brandy, anything you want to add to this as we close down our time and I take a sip?
I don't think so. Like, mainly it's just like we are all learning every day. Like, compliance just updated a bunch of stuff today. There's new stuff coming out. Like, it is a revolving circle constantly. Things, new people in, old people out, new things in, new things out within the company. And like, I got asked a question the other day that I had no idea to. So I did the same thing. Like, if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna find out for you. I'll help out by going to the top that I can possibly. But we all started at certified, or we all started at essential and made it our way to certified. So there's no avenue that you're going down right now that we haven't been down, or any problem that you're facing that we haven't already faced it. So the best way to find, a bus to that, fork in the road is ask somebody who is above you, because we have been there and we can help you. But we don't know if you need help unless you ask. That's like the biggest thing. I feel like people will say, well, I'm done. I'm just going to quit my business. I haven't had anybody order from me this month. I'm just done. But that they haven't reached out to their upline looking for any type of support, or reached out to you as their director. And it's sad, because once you actually have that one-on-one conversation with them, then it clicks to them and they're like, oh, that was just one minimum thing that I was doing incorrectly, or that they could have done a different way. And then it just reroutes their business down a different road. And they're like, I'm so glad I reached out to you. So don't ever feel like it's uncomfortable asking, us directors or above any sort of questions, or even your sponsor, because we've all been in your shoes. So make sure you're taking initiative for your business also, and just you are your best advocate, your best voice. So speak out, and we love helping. That's what we're here for.
All right. Anybody have any questions? Or Katie, anything you want to add? Sorry to call you out because I know you're hanging out here, but
no, it's okay. Just to kind of sum up pretty much everything you guys said, it's made me think about one of my first world tours that I went to, and it stuck with me all these years. And it said to succeed in this business, there's 3 factors you need to consider. And one is consistency, which you talked a lot about tonight. The next was time, giving it time. And the third was the ability to overcome obstacles. And that's kind of pretty much sums up everything that you said tonight. And it's still stuck with me all these years. And when I get in my funk, and, we all get burnout and everything, which I think it's time, if you do, it's important to step back and, take a breather. And, they talked about it on the Scentsy Family Consultant Live group today about, stepping back when you need to. But basically, when you're running into all those obstacles, when you, like you said, when you overcome them, how accomplished you feel. Like, I did it.
I didn't
we all get in our slumps. So it's part of the business. So. But you did a great job, ladies. Lots of you got a lot of good ideas about your lists and the timer and stuff like that. Never thought of that before.
I honestly, I live in a house with boys. You all know this. And my egg timer, we're big Disney, Marvel, Star Wars nerds, and my egg timer is BB-8. So when BB-8 starts going off, that's when Mama knows that it's time to stop working. Or in my case, I set my timers for cleaning. Like I said before, I hate cleaning. I hate it. Bathrooms are the worst. Like, no. So when BB-8 goes off, Mama's done. So and again, don't overwhelm yourself. Write down the things you absolutely need to do that have a deadline, and then you can slowly add to that list. That's the number one thing, if you take away from this talk. Don't feel like you need to overwhelm yourself with like getting a lot done during your time. Any time that you spend on your business is productive time. So making sure that you're picking tasks, getting them done. And then even if you only do half a task during that time, yay, you did it. Now stop thinking about it. Get the list off your mind until the next time you set your time.
I also like at night. So once I get all the kids to bed and it's like my time for myself, I take 20 minutes and I go through, like I have a binder, like I'm sure most people, in Chelsea Otto's like systems, she had like a to-do little sheet. And I just go through my to-dos and I look at the date and I'm like, okay, that needs to be done. And I highlight things off as I go. But just even 20 minutes a night, or even waking up 20 minutes earlier, that's a huge thing. And I'm a huge person on sleep. Like, you mess with my sleep, I turn into a psycho, and it's bad news bears. But I know that if I set that 20 minutes aside to get my stuff done either in the morning or at night, I feel like more of a successful person. My feet hit the ground in the morning and I'm like, yeah, girl, you just did that. You just got that done. And now you can move on to something else. Get it out of the way. But definitely keep a list of things that you need to-do list, or it just gets lost up in here. I know mine do.
All right. Well, with that, I think we'll let you guys go for the night. Thank you so much for all of you showing up and giving us your time, because again, it's precious, and taking a whole hour with us tonight. I really, really appreciate it. The replay will be up soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them on that. Have a great night.
Thanks, Molly and Brandy. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Molly. Thanks, Brandy. Have a good night.